taken her stance. The bots came down to Vernen Wells, looking for trouble, so the story tells. The children of St. Anne's let out fearful yells, and with a pull of the trigger, those clankers fell. The bots don't come back to where the hell diver dwells. Don't come back to where the hell diver dwells.
Evening's Freedom's Metal Grinders. That was Her Rifle Named Diligence, performed by Soon AI and written by me. A musical tribute to one of the greatest bot slang primaries of all time. There's very little that compares to the wheezing sound when you send a bullet from this fine lady directly into their cranial CPU chamber. It's also pretty serviceable in rapid-fire mode, using it like a battle rifle against something big, mean, and nasty right in your face, such as a berserker conga line. So, first thing on the docket for tonight is clan-related news. Right now, there is an art contest within the main Helldivers Discord board where the upper brass is looking for their Liberty Day server banner, which will run from October 26th to November 30th. To that end, the head of propaganda and fellow democracy officer, Val of the 9th Hellraisers, has submitted this masterpiece, drawn by their own hand. Check this out. Oh, yes indeedy, this is clearly the work of someone with a perfect patriotism score. I love the reference to the flag raising of Iwo Jima, and I am certain that this tiny diver on the right is someone that we saved during the battle for Vernen Wells. Because the bots don't come back to where the Helldiver dwells. I've added a link in the description below, and I am asking a personal favor from you, my audience, to go there and vote for Val if you like the art. I mean, I personally love it, and I think it deserves to win. But that's really just my opinion. It'll still mean an awful lot to me, though. Now that this has been said, let's get into the news for tonight. The Bringer of Mercy has parked itself over Claorell, and wow, I really made the toasters mad. We've had to dodge at least 3 fully loaded automaton bombers on kamikaze runs. I mean, the Gatling cannons tear them to shreds easily enough, but that doesn't mean the wreckage stops moving, you know? The battle for Claorell is fierce, but it does look like our lines are holding. We'll have this wrapped up in a few hours and might be able to give Vernen Wells a little bit of help to secure our southern flank. If we can't stop the attack, at the very least we can set up for a gambit play on Tush. Now, I did promise a segment on the Geneva suggestion tonight revolving around Emancipator play, so let's dive headlong into that. Give you guys a few pointers on how to stomp some bots good and proper. Your first weapon is your mindset. Your Emancipator is definitely the star of the show, but it's not your only tool. If it gets destroyed or has a limb blown off, fine. You brought other snacks to this shindig. Point is, you must strive to be useful both inside and outside your mech. The first step to being useful in that regard is a reliable primary. I quite like the Diligence Counter-Sniper, obviously, but the Adjudicator and Dominator are both good choices. Very serviceable in high-tier bot missions because it allows you to blow off reinforced Strider legs with just a few shots. After that comes the usual Senator for style and stopping power, or possibly the Verdict for rate of fire. But for this build, we're going to lean towards thermite grenades in your utility slot, just for that little bit of extra anti-tank stopping power. Thermite grenades will allow you to ditch your mech briefly and take out something big and nasty that could pop it, but would still struggle with infantry, like a tank right around the corner. Your first stratagem for this build is, as I mentioned before, the Emancipator. The mindset you need to have is to burn through all of your ammo as fast as possible, accomplishing as much as you possibly can. Once you get in, your detection radius is going to skyrocket. Everything on the field that can see you is going to try to kill you. However, with your paws on this mech, you can handle everything on the field trying to kill you, within reason. Something that is vital is to control your sight lines. If you step out into the open and try to fight like you would the bugs, you're going to get vaporized by a cannon turret, a tank, or even a Benjamin that you never saw. You'd be surprised how easy they can hide. Use cover, control how many enemies can see you, and edge around corners. It is totally viable to peek one of your cannon arms around a corner and fire from a vertical hold-down position. I've had some good luck with this approach, even back when all we had was the Patriots. After that, I would advise a support weapon with a backpack. Autocannon or recoilless as well, with the double R able to snipe cannon turrets in awkward locations, but the autocannon does fare better in regular combat. More of a jack-of-all-trades kind of weapon. After that, it's really Gillish choice. You could grab Airburst or Gatling for more anti-personnel power, Precision and Rocket Pods for extra AT support, or just go insane with the ONB and 380 for additional base flattening power. It's really up to you. Though the autocannon sentry is never a bad idea, regardless of warfront. Come to think of it, if you just grab the autocannon sentry and a 500 kg, you've pretty much got all of your angles covered. That's been Liberty's Latest with me, Pondera the Radio Angel. We'll stay here in orbit around Claorell, fighting the good fight and dodging these repeated awkward attempts on my life. What the heck? Seriously, I just saw a supercarrier blow right past the Sword of Supremacy and come barreling right at us. They aren't as threatening after we've hauled their tin can out with a 380 like a sushi roll, though. For liberty, for freedom, for democracy, and for Super Earth.